Justice Nazeer comes from a very humble background. He was from a rural area. He has had a huge struggle in his life. He lost his father when he was still studying. Even financially, the family were not in very good position, and for him to rise to where he has risen is a great tribute to his hard work and his sincerity. He is a first-generation lawyer, and accordingly, the first question that comes to anyone's mind is that how was he inspired to be a lawyer? In those days when he became a lawyer, the legal profession was not that sought after as it is now today. He was impressed by a personality in his taluka, that is Mr. Vijay Kumar, who was a senior advocate there, who was also a public figure who used to be speaking everywhere. So being impressed with that personality, he always visualized himself to be a lawyer and to come to that level of Mr. Vijay Kumar, or to aspire to become a good lawyer like him. It is that motivation which made him study law. And when he finished his law, because the inspiration was Mr. Vijay Kumar, he was desperate to somehow join his office, and he was lucky to get an introduction by one of Mr. Vijay Kumar's client, and Mr. Vijay Kumar took him readily in his fold. So he played a very important role in Justice Nazeer being with us today and joining the legal profession. Immediately thereafter, within 1 year thereafter, he moved to Bangalore. He joined the office of his father-in-law, Shri K.S. Kasim, and he worked with him for some time, and then he joined the illustrious chambers of Mr. V. Krishnamurthy and Mr. V. Takaram. For 5-6 years, he worked within that other chamber, and then he became independent, and he had a roaring practice in the Bangalore High Court. It is a credit to the collegium system that he was picked up by our collegium, and the person who considered him for elevation was none other than our own Justice Ravindran, who also came later to this court. Justice Ravindran was 4th in seniority there, but the first 3 judges were from outside. So he was the senior most local judge in the High Court, and he decided to elevate Justice Nazeer, or make a recommendation for his elevation, when Justice Nazeer was only 43 years of age. And that kind of recognition being given at such a young age speaks volumes about the kind of work that Justice Nazeer was doing and the kind of practice he had in Karnataka, and that the collegium system also sometimes is doing good job. I have my own reservation to the collegium system, but this is one clear, great example of our collegium system working very efficiently, of picking somebody who has no backing, who is a first-generation lawyer, and who is also from the minority community. His name was cleared his name was kept pending till he turned 45, and it was cleared in 2003, and he was elevated. Again, I give credit to the collegium system that when Justice Kehar decided to elevate Justice Nazeer, he was the 4th senior judge of the High Court. And although people say that he was elevated because he was from the minority community, even from the minority community, he was the 4th senior most in the All India seniority. So to be picked up by Justice Kehar's collegium, for him to be elevated to the Supreme Court, to give him a tenure of 6 years, again speaks volumes of how the collegium system is functioning to bring in good people to this court. The big moment for Justice Nazeer came in my view, when he was hearing the Ayodhya matter. He was the only minority judge in Supreme Court, and because being the only minority judge, he had to be part of that bench. So there was an expectation that as a member of the 5 judges bench which heard the matter, he will give definitely a separate opinion, whether concurring or not, but he will give a separate opinion. But he is a true embodiment of secularism in this country. He not only agreed to give a unanimous verdict without naming who wrote that judgment, being part of that judgment. He agreed with the majority view, and that judgment shows his true nature, because his attitude is that nation first, him as a judge second, and him as an individual last in priority. Because that is what is expected of any judge when he takes the oath as provided in our constitution. To look at nation as first. You are an Indian, you have to look at the large country that is India, and you have to serve the institution as a true Indian. Justice Nazeer studied in this school in Jain High School in Mubidare, and then Dharmathala Law College. And in these last 40 years, he has made it a point to remain in touch both with the school as well as with the college by visiting the college at least once or twice every year, and the school also almost every year. As the lawyer of the Bangalore Development Authority, he won a very big case for the authority. The authority, in recognition of that, because that case was very important for them, they wanted to allot a plot for him under the discretionary quota. Justice Nazeer refused to accept any plot under the discretionary quota. That is the character of Justice Nazeer. And that speaks volumes of a person who is not even a judge, to not accept something out of turn if he did not deserve it.
लीगल रिपोर्टर के सभी वीडियो को देखने के लिए लीगल रिपोर्टर को सब्सक्राइब करके बेल आइकन बटन जरूर दबाएं।